Here it's 93 degrees. The high today will be 97. And I'm taking a break because I'm out here mowing down some of these wildflowers that I've got back here in the yard. They're already dead, so they need to be mowed and kind of scattered around the yard. But like I said, I'm taking a break right this moment because I was getting too hot. I don't know how many people will come in the chat, but I told a few that I was going live, so we'll see. And if not, they can watch it later. It's not a problem. I've just been having such a hard time uploading stuff. It's been taking all day. I don't know what's wrong with my chair. Get it on some solid ground here. Oh, and I apologize for the AC running in the background, but when it's 93 degrees already, it's going to run. Ooh, I had to put a headband on because I had so much sweat going in my face I couldn't see what I was doing. But it's like I got two in here already. And I apologize, it's the spur of the moment. I was just gonna record this and upload it, but it's been taking all day to upload video. So that's why I decided to go live. And then people that, if they didn't catch the live, then they can watch the replay later. But my poor plants are burning up, y'all. I think it rained everywhere yesterday but here. I had a few big drops falling on my car coming from my son's house yesterday, but not even enough to get the car wet. Just enough to leave spots all over it. And that was between Cleveland and Glen Rose, so much for that. See if I can get here on the other side. And I was going to try out the microphone that Bloomin' had sent me again, but I said, well, there's not much need in doing it today or what I'm getting ready to do, because the lawnmower will be so loud that you're not going to be able to hear anything but the lawnmower. And the microphone would just make the sound of the mower go louder. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Sandra. How are you today? It's hot in Texas. It's 93 degrees already. It's going to be a high 97. So I thought I'd get out here and try to cut these wildflowers down while I could. Because there's stuff in the garden I want to do later on today. I guess maybe when it cools off. But it's hot out here, y'all. I had to go in there and get me a headband because I had so much perspiration going in my eyes I couldn't see what I was doing. So I have no makeup on or anything. All natural today. I said if I can brave the heat of that parade and everything else through the 4th, I can handle mowing these wildflowers down. And some of my plants are already flopped over from the heat, but later on this afternoon when it cools off, they'll revive. They just look kind of bad right now. Hot and humid in Virginia, I can imagine so. I remember the humidity in North Carolina when I lived there. Sometimes even at 95 degrees, it seemed like it was 115 with that humidity. It was so hot. Woo! Let me cool down another minute or two and then I'm going to get out there and start mowing again. But I'm just going to mow the areas where the wildflowers are, because everything else in my yard is dead. You can see behind me how everything is brown. It looks like potatoes. My poor rose bushes are turning brown. And the little one, the last one we planted out there at the corner of the shed, I don't think it's going to make it. I made the mistake of watering with tap water the other day, even though I knew chemicals were in it. The next day I went out and looked at it, and it was just all swiveled up, turned brown. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if anything will come back from the roots, because I planted it late in the season, you know. So it didn't have time to really put down good roots. So I may have to just plant another one there later. Welcome, Kathy. I enjoy doing that. I think my video for the town square and the parade turned out real good. If I'd have went on around to the city beach to film the fireworks, it would have been fantastic. But I was afraid if I went over there that I would not have even gotten in the parking lot. But I should have at least driven over there, because my fireworks display video was not too good at all. I mean, you could see the fireworks, but there was too many distractions, too much traffic, too many lights in the background other than my poor winter squash. It's just side on it. Because part of the winter squash, the two good pretty vines that I had, a lot of that is just dying. But I thought you'd like to see. This is all I do to I don't know if you'll see it there. Let me see where the best place is to put this camera. And I'm not going to be able to read chat when I'm out here, so. That'll give you an idea of what I'm doing today in this heat. what you can see over here. Can't tell what you're seeing. move the camera out here because I've got a spot over here in the front that I want to mow. It's just wildflowers before it gets any hotter, and I'll come back. Whew. Put the camera in the shade. So y'all get an idea of what my day is like. Other than the parade. Oh goodness, guys. It's hot out here. My neighbor's got his so long. I don't think you can see it from here. Whew. I wish one of those would work for me. I got too many rocks and too many obstacles in my yard, I'm afraid, to try to use one of those little robo lawnmowers. But that's basically all the mowing I wanted to do. Whew. I had some other stuff to do. Let's get back over here and even go in the house to cool off. My poor cabbage right there is even kind of suffering. Everything's suffering in this heat. Whew. I probably need to put the legs down a little bit. Oh, Lordy. Oh. Guys, it's hot. It's not so bad as long as you can stay in the shade. But oh my God, you get out there in the heat, it's too hot. Whew. Gotta cool off a minute. I was gonna go back there and put some more soil, potting mix and stuff in my totes, the pink ones. Like I said the other day I was going to do. It's too hot right now. And if we don't pretty soon end this water restriction, I don't know. I'm afraid the people of the community is going to have a lawsuit against the water company. Because it's not right at all to allow all the other subdivisions that are on this same water company to pump all the water they want, no restrictions. And we've got restrictions here in like 3 or 4 different subdivisions that's on that same water company. That's not right at all. And different subdivisions that's on that same water company. That's not right at all. And we've been under water restrictions for about 2 years. And that's ridiculous. Yeah, I need to rest. Slinky says I'm just cutting grass. Yeah, well, my grass, you see, is burned up. I was just cutting down the wildflowers that dried, because to mow them is the best way to spread the wildflower seed after it dies. It helps spread it across the yard. It's almost like putting it through a seed spreader. So that's one reason I like to do that. I mean, they would have fell over and went away on their own, but I love to mow them right after they die just to spread the seed around. Oh, that water's so good. I got ice water in. Oh. Hope it's cooler where you're at, Slim Twiggy. I told her in Steven's chat that I would probably go live after he ended his live. I don't know if she saw the message. She needs to get all those notifications turned on. For some reason, I think she's there, but I don't think she's clicked on hit all notifications, because she says she does, so I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that, but I did tell her, so. And I might not have went live right the minute that he ended, but I came out here and got my stuff together, and then when I went back in, he had already ended his live. Yeah, I saw that rooster. Whew. It's hot, y'all. But at least that's got the wildflowers cut down so the yard looks better. So if their committee rides by my yard, they'll see that it has been mowed. It's not just left straggly. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's almost like they want the stuff in our yards to die here in Comanche Harbor. And I just told you where I live. I didn't mean to do that. But anyway. I think I probably showed you in signs in some of my videos without intending to. And I didn't put my glasses on. And I got some of that stuff went in my eyes. Whew. You know what? I think I'm going to step inside the house for a minute because I'm just hot. Oh, I feel the cool air coming out of the door. It feels so good. It feels like heaven. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing out there, but I tell you, it's not much. Whew. Hot, 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 y'all. Too hot. It's already 93, 94 degrees. And I can't get my tripod situated here. But it's already about 95 and it's only 1:45. I think when I go back out to finish putting dirt in the pots and stuff, I'm going to wait till later on this afternoon when that section is in the shade. Whew. But I knew if I didn't go live and I tried to upload this video, even a short one, it would take all afternoon and probably most of the night to do it. So, anyway, how is y'all's day going? Yeah, I've got my central air running right now. That's the reason I said I was going to come in the house. Because the minute I opened the door, I could feel that cold air coming out. Oh, it felt like heaven. I said, I got to cool off. Whew. My hair's wet. My hat's wet. My headband's wet. This might help cool me off is just to get everything off my head. And let that cold air hit it. Yeah, if you do anything in your yard in Texas, you want to do it before 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. And anytime after about 7:30 p.m. Other than that, it's just way too hot. I mean, even roofers and construction people take a break from about lunchtime to late afternoon, early evening before they go back to work. It's so hot out here. Especially if they're in the sun, because it's just way too hot. Yeah, it's probably a little cooler where Slim Twiggy is than it is right here where I'm at. Love and life, loving. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you too. Whew. And to top it all off, I didn't sleep last night. Whew. Hot, y'all. This feels good. I had wet it with cold water before I put it on, so Feels really good. Oh, that feels good. Just rubbing that cold on my arms and then letting that AC hit it in here. Yeah, you stay out in this Texas heat. That Texas heat will tell you who's boss. And I should have had a mask on, but it's too hot to even put a mask on. Because I was allergic to everything I'm breathing out there. But you know how it is when you wear a mask. You're breathing in the mask. You're breathing in all the hot air from that you're already exhaled. And it's just twice as hot. Shirley Nash said, I saw you mowing and I got hot watching you. It's hot. Whew. Put a cough drop in my mouth. Maybe it'll quit me from coughing. I have trouble sleeping too. That's Mystic Angel. Well, hi, Mystic Angel. How are you? Whew. I'm sorry, but I've only got the one camera going with the chat scrolling, and it fades in and out, so I don't get to see it constantly. Shirley says, I went out at 7:30 p.m. and mowed mine. Yeah, that's the time to do it. And I don't think I'm going to do any more in the yard till later on this evening, about 7:30. I'll go back out and finish what I started with my totes and stuff, because I bought 2 bags of potting soil. One is for raised beds and the other one is for like raised beds in pots that I'm going to add to the pink totes because they don't have enough dirt. They don't have enough soil in it. And like I said, the ground is so hard here, you can't dig. You can't dig anything right now. So I can't even dig up native soil to put in my pots or totes or anything. Yeah, now I'm going to cough a lot because I've been breathing all that stuff. Yeah, that's what this is. This is the neck scarf they gave me at the town square when I was doing my video. They gave it to me and it was already wet with ice water and it felt so good. And that's what I had around my neck with my hat. That's the only reason I stayed out there as long as I did. And I had already mowed the section behind the shed and beside the shed of all those wildflowers before I even turned the camera on. And I said, well, I should include this in part of my video because it's going to be too hot later today to get out and do anything unless I do something in the house. So I said I wanted to go ahead and include that. You like my lawn? I kind of like my yard too. I just wish there was sometimes not so many rocks. And not so much the rocks, there's boulders. Yeah, I do like my lawnmower. Gladys, you said when last night. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess maybe you're talking to one of the other chatters. Because I missed a lot of the chat when I was out with the mower. I couldn't see the camera. Oh my God. Cold cloth feels so good. Oh, it was hotter last year here in Texas than it is now. I mean, we had 105, 110, 113 degree weather all summer long last year. But it seemed like we got a little bit more rain than what we're getting now. 92 here, feeling like, yeah, it feels like it's 105 here now. Because the heat index is always higher. Whew. Yeah, this was from, if I can find the little advertisement they had on it. It's got the realtor name and address on it. So it's the way they were advertising their company by giving out the wet, cold scarves to put around your neck. Oh, I wish it was 88 here. You had a good time talking last night? Well, I'm glad. He said the nurse was coming. She has no power to her bed. Oh, my goodness. I hope it's just the bed and not the rest of the house. Whew. Hot, hot, hot. My poor garden, I just don't know about what's going to happen with it this year. It's just so hot, so dry, and no water, no rain. And then they don't want me to use the spigot water to water my plants. They got so much chemicals in it that it would probably kill them anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what the outcome of my garden's going to be like. Brenda, just seen you were live. Well, good. At least you popped in, said hi. I had not planned to go live. I was going to make a video and just upload it. But like I was telling everybody, it takes me all day long to upload a video lately. So I just decided to go live, and that way it's online immediately. I don't have to worry about uploading it later. Whew. My son had built a chicken run around his new chicken coop for his chickens and put a shade cloth over the top of it. And they're partly under a shade tree too, so it makes it a little cooler. I haven't got hardly any tomatoes, just one or two little grape tomatoes along. Not even enough to say I've picked tomatoes. I got a handful of cucumbers, and that was about it. Well, hi, Wilkes County boy. Linda's hot and tired. I had to I had to come in the house and cool off. And there was something I forgot. One of my birdhouses had fallen out there around that tree. And I was going to check on it to see why it had fallen and put it back up. I might go back out there and do that. Oh, that feels good to put it around your neck. Cools you off. Hi, Ashley. How are you? Brenda Jordan. Sandra no, I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly. I didn't see you in chat earlier, so I guess you just came in. Ham and green beans, that sounds good. You stay in cool Wilkes County, boy? I want to go back out there and check on that birdhouse. It may have just been the cord that rotted and the thing fell, because it's been up there quite a while. Yeah, I've done that before. Kathy says I made banana pudding. Well, I took my son a banana pudding yesterday, but I left it there because I told him I didn't need to eat any more banana pudding. Because that one I made a couple of weeks ago, I had ended up eating the whole thing. I mean, it took me over a week. You know, I'd eat a little bit every day for dessert. But I said, I don't need any more banana pudding. So I ate just a little bit over there when I was there and left the rest of it. Usually I take him something on his birthday, and since I didn't make it on his birthday this year, I went ahead and cooked it, or made it and took it over there yesterday. I'm going to get some twine, and then I'm going to go out and check on my birdhouse, and I'll take y'all with me when I go. Because I want to see why it fell. I don't know if I'll be able to put it right back up right fast, or if I'm going to have to bring it in the house and work on it. But I hate that it had fallen. I hope it didn't have a bird nest in it. Well, at least it's halfway under the shade out there. Whew. I hear the crickets. Oh, I see what happened. The little screw hook that was screwed into the top of the birdhouse, the wood rotted enough that the little screw came out of it and the birdhouse fell. But it looks like it hasn't had a bird in it in a while, because there was a bird nest in there. See, it's got a little door on the back, but it also had a wasp nest built in it. So I'm not going to be able to hang it back up. Not till I get some kind of glue on it. The birds did use it though, and they'll probably use it again and get all that stuff out of it. I really need to put a new one up there. Look at that, a wasp nest was in there. And I didn't know it. That's why the birds didn't use it this year. Big old wasp nest. Good gracious. Even get out of the hole. I'll have to build me another birdhouse, I guess, or try to redo this one somehow. But it's so rotten, I don't know if it'll last. Even the little door hinges are coming off back here. Look at that. That honeycomb. That was a big old wasp nest in there. No wonder the birds didn't use it this year. But even though it's kind of tattered, they'd use it. But what I think I'm going to do is take the little hinges off and make another little birdhouse. But wasn't that a cute birdhouse? Look at that. I thought it was the cutest thing. But yeah, I'm going to have to work on it a little bit. Or just go ahead and build a new one. But that was a lot of honeycomb, not honeycomb, but cone in there that where the wasp house. Yeah, I'll have to figure out something. Make another one or rebuild that one somehow. But I'm going back in here before I get all hot again. I mean, I'm still hot, but I don't need to get as hot as I was before. Whew. Get this thing over here. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yeah, the birds will still use that if I can get it hung back up. I can redo part of the outside of it and hang it back up. Let them have one more year out of it, maybe. Because they seem to like using it. I think birds used it every single year until now when those wasps built a nest in it. I'm sorry, but this thing feels so good to my face. I've got to, whew. It's hot out there, y'all. Hot, hot, hot. And I've already got the potting mix and stuff back there. But it's just too hot out there for me to get out there to do any more. I don't see how my poor vegetable garden anything is even alive out there. It's so darn hot. Gotta go, Glenn. Well, have a good day if you're leaving chat. I see I got 25 in here. Whew. Tell you, it's too hot for anything in Texas outside. It's in the 90s there, Wilkes County, boy. Yeah, it's probably really humid too, I'm sure. Yeah, have a good day living life. Whoever's leaving, have a good day. Bye, Pamela. Well, I don't know if I'll be on in 25 minutes or not, but you need to take care of business regardless. Whew. Yeah, to do anything in this Texas heat, you got to get out before 10 a.m. or after 7 p.m. when the sun goes down or starts going down. Because once that sun is up, it's unbearable out there. Hot and humid, like your shirt. I'm a diehard cowboy fan. Well, thank you. I've had this for so many years, and I love wearing it. Back to cutting grass, Slim Twiggy. What's the temperature there, Slim Twiggy? Because I know it's got to be every bit of 95 or higher here right now. Let me check. See what the weatherman says. Yep, it's 95 degrees right now. And the high's going to be 99 at 4 p.m. And I guarantee you it'll probably go over 100 before the day's over. But it says 99. And there's very slight chance of rain, only like 10, 11%. So I know we're not going to get any rain today. 95, and it says it feels like 102. Feels like 102. By Sunday, it's going to be 102 for a high. So as the week progresses, it's going to get hotter and hotter. And basically no rain. And you don't want to water your plants this time of day because it'll just cook them. I got to get something else to drink. I drank all my water out of this thing. Yeah, even the plants that are in the shade are drooped over right now, just from the heat. They're exhausted. Whew. 13 thumbs up. Well, good. I should have more thumbs up than that. Can't have music on my video. 91 there, Wilkes County boy. You cut grass yesterday? Whew. Yeah, I know. Tomato plants, pepper plants, everything in my garden is just exhausted. I mean, it just flops over from the heat. But then when the sun goes down, it perks back up. You had to have a hammock, got it, now it's too hot to even go out to get in it. I hear that. Because unless the breeze is blowing pretty hard, it's too hot to get out in a hammock here. Yeah, wait till fall, then you can use your hammock. I just hit the tripod. I mean, this is the worst garden season I've ever had. Thank you, Shirley. I love that. I appreciate it so much. Get you some ice cream or a slushie? Well, I sure will. That would feel so good right now. I mean, I don't know. Everywhere around us, a lot of people have given up on their garden because it's too hot to get out to even put water to it. I mean, if I had an irrigation line run to everything, that would be different. You know, like a underground soaker hose. That would probably work a lot better, but even that, you know, in the late afternoon would send so much steam up to the plant. It would probably fry the plant just from the steam of the water in the ground. It's still in the truck. Oh. Yeah, even one of those soaker hoses you run under the ground or drip irrigation, you don't want it turned on unless it's at night, because just the steam from the water in the ground would cook your plants. And I haven't checked on my green stalk tower, you know, at my basil and my pepper plants and stuff I put in there. I haven't thought to check on that today. But yeah, when I get out later today, when the sun starts going down a little bit and it's not so hot, I might get out and maybe go live again, so I don't have to upload the video later, and do the totes, put the potting mix in it and all that, and I can show how I'm doing it. And then I can check on my green stalk tower and see how my pepper plants and my basil are doing that I filled it up with the other day. I know, I mean, sometimes it takes an hour, and then there's been other days I can start upload at 10:30 in the morning, and I'm lucky if that video has uploaded by 12 o'clock midnight. That's how slow it's been working lately. And I don't know why it's doing that, unless there's so many people on Wi-Fi that it's slowing it all down. I mean, the only thing about doing it live, you can't edit it or nothing until after it's live, and then the whole world's seen it. So, oh, it feels so much better in here, I can't tell you. But that was a good test for my lawnmower, because, you know, that was my replacement mower for the mower that I bought last year. It's identical to the one I'm used today. I used it. It would not start. It had plenty of gas, plenty of oil, but it would not start. So I contacted the company because it was under warranty. They sent me that mower, the replacement mower. And so I've been wanting to use it off and on just to check to see if it's going to start. And so far, it started every time I wanted to use it. So it's doing it in your state too, Kathy? I guess the whole world and his brother's on internet now, you know, on Wi-Fi, so. LOL, the farmer's market. I haven't been to a farmer's market in so many years. I wouldn't know what it would be like to go to a farmer's market anymore. Oh, that's where the farmer's market came in. It says people ask me all the time if I have a garden, and I say yes, it's called farmer's market. My brother has a huge garden. Well, usually I have stuff that I take and give to my son. I don't have anything. I mean, I could have taken him a couple of little cucumbers, but I didn't even think about that. I do have 5 or 6 cucumbers in the refrigerator that I picked last week. I didn't even think to take him a cucumber. That's all I've got. Don't have anything else out of the garden to take, to go in, to give to anybody. Don't even have it for myself. I mean, there's been one or two little tomatoes I've picked doing videos showing the garden, and I've eaten them right then, so. Yeah, I was getting too hot out there. My clothes are soaked. They're wet. We'll have to jump in the shower and cool off. You picked a few. Well, see, your climate and your dirt, the whole makeup where you're at, Wilkes County, boy, is so much different than what it is here. You grow a lot of stuff back where you're at a lot easier than I can grow it here. But just because it's so dry and hot all the time. I mean, if we got it like a shower every other day, or at least every day, to keep everything wet, keep the temperature down, I could grow a good garden here too. He asked you if you wanted some squash and cucumbers last night, and you said yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't turn them down. Definitely would not turn them down. Whew. Yeah, my tomatoes, most of them are still green. I get one tomato every so many days. Or I've started getting some, but they're usually the little ones, like a Roma tomato here and there, or I get a grape tomato. My big ones haven't ripened yet, and I don't have that many of them on the vines. I think the internet everywhere is slow. It's down to a crawl. Because mine is not usually that slow. I have Spectrum high speed, and if that's high speed, I can't imagine what the lower speed would be. Tomatoes are still green, yeah. Tommy toes. And my little Tiny Tim tomato plants, the little ones, they were covered in tomatoes, but the plants are trying to die. They don't like the heat. So I don't know if I'll plant any of those next year. I found that the grape tomatoes and the cherry tomatoes survive the best of any of them in this Texas heat. And they'll live all summer long and keep producing one or two tomatoes along until it cools off, and then they'll start producing again like crazy. Whereas the bigger tomato plants that have the big tomatoes on them, they usually die off in the heat. Tommy toes. Yeah, this is the first year I've planted the little Tiny Tim dwarf tomatoes. They only get about a foot tall. And mine didn't even get that tall, but they were loaded down with little tomatoes. But the poor plants are trying to die. Well, that's nice of your brother Shirley that he gives away a lot of his produce to people. Because a lot of people that he gives it to probably really need it. Maybe they can't grow a garden. Yeah, that's the way my plants do. My peppers, my tomato plants, okra, everything. They just the leaves fall over and just wilt down. But as soon as it cools off in the afternoon and evening, they perk back up. I mean, they wilt down like I do if I'm out there in that hot sun. And I do look terrible. I have to apologize. I look like something to... But you can't wear makeup and work in the garden, especially if it's already 95 or 96 degrees out there. Well, like I said, the first couple of years I did a garden. I planted in the ground, and I had so many squash and zucchini and cucumbers, I was giving them away left and right. But then I ended up with that Bermuda grass in my garden area, so it's hard to plant in the ground now with that grass. I look like a Texas farmer. Whew. I'm a hot, wet Texas farmer right now, I tell you. And I've even been thinking about getting shade cloth, not shade cloth, but the plastic that you lay down over the winter months to kill the grass underneath, to see if that would help. But sometimes I don't think that's even going to help. I know I can't wear makeup, and I'm allergic to a lot of it, so I don't wear a whole lot very much anyway, because if I get it in my eyes, it irritates my eyes. There's a lot of uh, mascara that burns my eyes just to wear it. It don't have to get in my eyes. Just wearing it burns, so I don't usually wear it. And I found this one that I can wear. It looks great, but if you sweat the least little bit, it's going to end up down here on your cheeks. So I don't even wear that usually. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to get back out there today. I'm going to wait till the sun goes down and try to put that soil to the pots. And I'll either go live to do that, or I'll video it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Natural beauty doesn't take much makeup. That's true, but I'm not a natural beauty, that's for sure. And don't look much better with the makeup on. Yep, it is too hot, Wilkes County, boy, you're right. I saw a couple of hummingbirds at the feeders early this morning out there, but they don't even come during the day. It heats up so hot, they don't come out to the feeders usually during the day. They come early in the morning, or they'll come late in the evening, or sometimes they're out there feeding at the feeders at night. Because I'll literally see the nectar level drop the next morning. You know, it'll be up to one level. I go out there and just notice the level in the feeders the next morning, and it's dropped. So you know they've done some heavy feeding throughout the night with that sugar water. Well, thank you, Kathy. I'm sure you are a beautiful lady as well. And you know, beauty's not just skin deep. So, thank you so much, Shirley. Trisha Whistler says, Miss Linda, I'm the same way when it comes to wearing makeup. I know, growing up, I never wore makeup. I might have wore a little bit of powder, you know, but I didn't really wear makeup. I never have worn much. Just maybe a little mascara and foundation a little bit, and that was it. But you know what? I've watched some of these makeup videos, how they apply a lot of this makeup, and they look really good after they're done. But oh my God, they put layers and layers and layers of makeup. Oh my God, you could take a knife and scrape it off their face. I don't want that much stuff on my face. I mean, I don't understand it. Spend hours and hours applying all this makeup, and you couldn't go out in the heat here with all that stuff on. It would melt off your face. You look like a wax melted candle walking around. Yeah. If I wear makeup, I put it on if I'm going to be inside where it's cool or I'm going somewhere where it's cool because I know I'll sweat it off. There's no need in putting it on. That's right, Shirley. Some of these women, their makeup is so thick on their face, you could literally take a chisel and chisel it off. Now that's ridiculous. April Flower says, I don't wear any makeup. I hardly ever, and it might be a little bit like an eyebrow pencil or a little bit of eye makeup, and that's basically it. Because I'm allergic to a lot of the makeup. £10 of makeup's what you call it. Yeah, I don't like all that either. I mean, if a guy wants a made-up face, he could put all that makeup on a piece of cardboard and carry it around and have a pretty face. He doesn't need a live person walking with him. Whew. See, how long have we been on? Looks like about an hour and 15 minutes. Wow, I didn't think I'd been on that long. Didn't think I'd been live that long. Time flies when you're having fun with the lawnmower, doesn't it? 10 pounds of makeup is what I call it. Yep, that's crazy. I know, they literally look like a made-up clown. They have so much makeup on. When a lot of times if they just scrub their face and go natural, they probably look 100% prettier and better. I mean, to me, if I was a guy, I wouldn't want to have a woman on my arm that had 10 pounds of makeup on her face. What was the name of that evangelist's wife? Her name wasn't it Patty? That wore so much makeup, you look like you could just peel it off. And they said when she went to bed at night, she left her face on the pillow. I think her name was Patty. I don't remember. Tammy, that's what it was. Tammy Baker. Yeah, man, that woman wore tons of makeup. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't get mine on correctly, but after I had that cancer scare, only about half of my little eyebrows come back, so I put sometimes just enough eyebrow pencil on to define my eyebrows so it looks like I've got eyebrows instead of walking around with no eyebrows. If that makes sense. Because I never used to even do that. I know, kissing a woman like that, you'd end up with 10 pounds of makeup on your mouth and your cheeks just from kissing her. And the lipstick, ugh. If I was a guy, I wouldn't want to kiss a set of lips that had 5 pounds of lipstick and lip gloss and everything else all over them. That's pretty gross. Feel like I got a bug in my ear. Yeah, that's the way mine are now because about half my eyebrows did not grow back in after I went through that chemo. And I lost my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my hair, everything. Until later when it grew back, and then my eyebrows didn't grow back exactly the way they were, so I basically have no eyebrows. I got a little, but not many. I know. I mean, don't make no sense to me. But you know, there are guys out there, and I dated one. He just wanted a pretty woman on his arm to show off, make him look good. I flew over. He come and picked me up in the airplane. We flew to his house. And he made the comment, well, I would go out to dinner, but he said, look at you. Well, he didn't tell me we were going to go out to eat when I got in their plane to fly over there. So I was in shorts and a top, which was fine. People go out to eat all the time in shorts. But I didn't, my hair was pulled up and it was real curly and it looked good, but it didn't pass his standard. So I thought to myself, well, woohoo-doo. You don't need he wanted a Barbie doll to put on his arm to walk in a restaurant. That's all it was. Well, thank you. They haven't been painted in so long, it's ridiculous. Yeah, a little bit's good, but you don't want to go overboard with it. You don't want to look made up, put it that way. You can wear a little bit of makeup and it still looks pretty natural and healthy, not pounds of makeup, Yeah, a little bit's okay when you're dressed up and you're going out to dinner. But, he didn't tell me we were going anywhere. And like I said, the way my hair was, it was back when it was really curly because it was before the cancer deal and all that. And I was a little bitty tiny thing. And I had on shorts. And in fact, I've got the picture in my bedroom of me platinum blonde. That was the top I had on that day that I went over there. Only I had shorts with it because that was the day he took that picture. But he didn't think I looked good enough to take out to dinner because of the way I was dressed. Well, here, I'm going to take you in there and I'm going to show you the picture. I'll take it in there and show you in my bedroom because that's where it's hanging up. If I can get in here. Oh, see that picture right there? I don't know how clear it's coming through, but I had on like a little blue sun top. That's the day he took that picture, but I didn't look good enough to go out to eat dinner with him. I thought to myself, well, I don't look good enough to go out to dinner with you the way I look. I don't need to be even going with you anywhere. So that's pretty much what I did because shortly after that, and he knew I had my own house. He never mentioned getting married or anything like that, but he wanted me to move in with him because he wanted to be able to go places and not have to come pick me up. He wanted a convenience of me living with him. And that light is such a blare. And he wanted me to move in with him. Well, my son was, 13, 14 years old at the time. My daughter had already moved out. I was out of high school. Her and her boyfriend got a place to live, and it was just before they got married. So my son was still living at home, just starting his teenage years. But he didn't want my son. He said, you can send your son to live with his dad. That's all it took for me. And I did say bye. And he couldn't believe it because he said, well, so-and-so, some woman he dated years before that, She gave up all of her kids for him. I guess left them with their dad, moved in with him, and it only lasted a short time, and then she left. You know, they broke up. So there she was by herself. Her kid, she gave her kids up. Everything was given up for him. And I said, no. With your attitude, I wouldn't give up nobody for you. And I was not going to send my son to go live with his dad to move in with him. I do not roll that way. My kids always came first to me. And it definitely came first before him. Oh, man. It feels so much better in the house since I've cooled down. I'm probably starting to get a little bit of color back in my face because I was white when I first come in, I know. I don't know how good you could see that picture, but if you had a woman that looked like that picture, would you be ashamed to take her to a restaurant to eat? I wish I looked that good right now. That was many years ago. So, yeah, he took me to a lot of places because he dealt with experimental airplanes and stuff like that. And we went to like a pilot flight convention thing that a lot of his friends went to that were pilots and had their own airplanes. And I was dressed real good. But yeah, and they knew how he was too. I was okay then to walk on his arm, you know, to show off. Today, the way I look, he probably wouldn't give me the time of day. But you know what? Unfortunately, my son was watching TV one day and the news came on. And he hollered and says, Mom, come here. Look who's on TV. Well, that guy was on TV. But unfortunately, he was on TV just in time for them to film how he died. He took off with his experimental airplane. He cleared the runway, got up in the air, leveled his plane off, and that plane stopped just like it hit a brick wall. It did a nosedive and came right back down to the pavement. And of course, when it hit, it burst into flames and he was killed. And that was after I split up with him. I told him bye. And I was mad at him the way he always acted, and I had built a fire in the backyard right after that. And I threw his pictures in it. I burned all his pictures in that little fire. And everything probably he had ever given me. And I said, burn, you bee, you know what? Burn. Little did I know, not more than 6-7 months later, I'd see him crash his plane on the national news and get killed. And my son says, oh, Mom, I didn't know that was going to happen. I just saw that he was on the news and I thought you'd like to see it. But yeah, we watched him take off in his plane and take a nosedive and burst into flames that day. So it was his time, I guess. Well, I'm sure y'all got things to do, don't you? Or I'm not going to do anything the rest of the day except maybe do stuff in the house because it's too hot outside. I would love to go fishing, but I think it's too hot for even the fish to bite. And it's too hot for me to go out there fishing right now. I'd have to do that late in the evening or early in the morning. Well, the chat disappeared, so I'm going to have to bring it back up on this one. round up something to eat. Okay, well, you go right ahead, Wilkes County boy. And Shirley says, I got plenty to do, but not going to do it. Mrs. Weaver. Well, hi, Miss Weaver. I didn't realize you were in here. I know it's way too hot outside. I come in the house to cool off because just cutting those little bit of wildflowers that had dried out there got me too hot. April flowers, it's raining here. Oh my goodness, April, send me some of that rain. I need some of that rain desperately. It has not rained here in weeks. We got a few sprinkles outside of town, me coming home yesterday, but it was not even enough to wet the car. It was just enough that the big drops hit the car and the dust and made little circles, and that was it. Yeah, I'd love for it to rain here. You've got cats using your mulch as cat litter. Well, at least they're trying to be clean about it. It hasn't rained here at all in several weeks. And in this heat, it's unbearable. The mulch that's on your plants, oh no. Look like you might get a pop-up thunder shower. Well, hey, I'd even take a pop-up thunder shower at this point. Anything. Yeah, I need to do a rain dance. That's what everybody's telling me. Maybe if I get out there and do a rain dance, it'll accidentally rain. And it tickled me when I was walking around the square doing the video of the town square festivities. I don't know if any of you saw it, where I walked up to that little wheel and spun the wheel. And I won a rain gauge. I said that was so funny. Like I really needed a rain gauge with all this rain we get. Even that lady, she said, well, you got a rain gauge. She said, just by luck, you might get some rain after winning it. It's like you don't need a rain gauge here. It's not going to rain. You get passing trade wind showers. I'd take any kind of a shower as long as it was water falling. I know, I thought it was too. A rain gauge, and it's so dry and hot here, it's unreal. That's the reason when it does rain, it's such a big deal. So maybe I need that rain gauge. I need to put it out in the yard, in the open, so the next time it rains, I can actually measure how much rain we get. Pow wow dance. I need to do something. I don't know. But I tell you what, it was so hot on that square when that realtor, she handed me that wet, cold, white towel or thing to put around your neck. Oh my God, that felt like heaven. It felt so good. April Flower says it's 72 to 73 degrees where she's at. Well, that's a cold front compared to what we are here, honey. It's probably 96, 97 by now. Yeah, I'd love it at 73 right now. My plants would jump for joy. The animals and the birds would love it too. It's only going to be 75 tonight. Even 75 sounds good because it's been in the 80s and 90s at night here. It'll heat up in the 80s. Well, even 80s is cool compared to 100. That's 20 degrees cooler. And I've done everything I know to do to turn on chat replay when I do a live. And it's just once in a while it'll accidentally stay on and I end up with chat replay on my videos. And I hate it because I want the chat replay to stay on. I don't imagine your vines are very happy right now. Well, I've got a fan running in the living room that helps circulate the air in here because my ceilings are too low to have a ceiling fan. But I do have AC running. And it runs 24/7. Because in a mobile home in Texas, you can't survive without AC of some kind. Because these mobile homes, they just heat up so hot. A lot warmer than a regular house. We go down in the 60s at night. I'm in the rainforest on Maui. Oh my God, that sounds like heaven, April. And the rainforest is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I bet you can grow anything there, can't you? I've always wanted to visit Hawaii, Maui, and all those areas. Probably never get to go. My daughter got to go to Hawaii one time. Her and her husband went. Yeah. Yeah, you can't survive in 90-degree temperature and higher without some kind of AC unit. Well, believe it or not, once I put my central air unit in, my electric bill is lower now than it was when I ran the great big window unit. Because the window unit did not have a thermostat in it like the central air. So it ran constantly all the time. The compressor never cut off. And my electric bill would run $300 in a heartbeat. Usually way more than that, just running a window unit. And I said, that's too much money. And then after I put my central air in, my electric bill was cut in half. Yeah. So you basically lived in the rainforest all your life, haven't you, April? I know it's beautiful there. I know all the pictures and videos that I've ever seen that have ever come from Hawaii or Maui or anywhere around that area is beautiful. I'm going to put some Coca-Cola in my cup this time. I was drinking just plain water earlier, but I think I'm going to go with something a little bit sweeter now. Heat pump is the way to go, yeah. Well, I don't know what you call my unit. It's a central air and central heat combined. I mean, you may call it a heat pump. I don't know. My mom had one like that, and she loved hers. And of course, after she passed, she left the house to one of my younger brothers and his wife. Yeah, well, I can only drink so much water. And that's what I've been drinking most of the morning was water before I went live. And then I've drank this thing full twice since I've been on live. So I needed something other than the water. Yes, heat pump. I guess it's a heat pump. I don't know what they call it. But mine is gas. You know, of course the fan and everything is run by electricity. The AC is by electricity. But the furnace itself runs off propane. But if the electricity goes off, you can't use it because, you know, the way it works, the electricity has to be on to use the furnace because you would not be able to circulate the heat anyway. But my stove is gas and my water heater's gas. I said at least that way, if the electricity goes off, I can cook and I can halfway heat the place a little bit with the gas oven. And my water heater is gas. So I've got hot water whether my electricity goes off or not. That thing will still pump me hot water. You want to start drinking the Jello? I didn't get to read it all that somebody talked about. I see that. What are you talking about? Shirley says, I want to start drinking that Jello that William Hall talked about. What Jello? How are you going to drink Jello? Fill me in on this, Shirley, because I'm kind of. Well, thank you, April. I enjoyed doing them. I know it's Jello water, but want it gel if I put it in the fridge. I've not heard of drinking Jello. I don't know where I've been all my life, girls and guys. Where have I been that I haven't heard of drinking Jello? Just mix it up and drink it. Do you add more water than you normally would if you're going to just mix it up for Jello? How much water do you put it to a pack of Jello? Y'all got me curious. Mrs. Weaver, I've never heard of drinking Jello either. Oh, William Hall talked about it. I'd have to ask him. Huh. Well, I guess it'd be similar to drinking Kool-Aid. If you put enough water to the Jello, it probably wouldn't gel on you, and you could drink it. Or if you put it in the freezer, it would probably make a Jello slushy drink or something. I don't know. April says my mom used to give me Jello to drink. Huh. I'll have to do that, Wilkes County boy, because I've never heard of drinking Jello. I didn't know William Hall had a video on drinking Jello. I'm going to have to check that out. Definitely have to check that out. In fact, I'm going to see if I can bring it up on this contraption now and see. Because I'm curious. Y'all got me curious. I guess you leave it out of the fridge and pour it on ice. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the name of his video was. I don't know. The one I got up now, it says "Don't laugh, it worked." William Hall. So I don't know how long ago he did one on Jello. I see a seat cover one. See one with his mom. Do you know what the name of that video was that William had? Can make it in all different flavors. April, it sounds good to me. Huh. And you know, I didn't really realize that William Hall had made a bunch of videos. Oh well, I'm not finding it. I don't know. I'll look it up later. Maybe I'll find it somewhere. But that's got me curious. Drinking Jello. Whew. Oh, he would be talking about flexing. Well, that must have been the video that I brought up. Yeah, that's the one I brought up, and it looked like it was probably about something else, so. But, yeah, I'll go back to that. See, what threw me off, he's in, well, I don't know if you can see that. It looks like he's in his shop or garage or something. So I figured it was a video about making something or working on a car or something. But yeah, I'll watch it later. I got to check Drinking Jello out. I might want to start doing that. I don't know. I think so. It was about a week ago. Okay. Well, that was the first like the first or second video came up. It said it was 13 days ago. But that's the one where he's got his arm up like this when the video first comes on. That's his thumbnail. So I guess that's the one you're talking about. Okay. Okay, well, that's the right video then, so I'll watch it. Yeah, I'm all interested in anything new like that. Yeah. That one there, well, I don't think it shows up too good in the camera. There's too much of a glare on it, I guess, but yeah, the title of it is Don't Laugh, It Worked, and he's got his arm up flexing his muscle. Yeah, we're still here chatting away. It's too hot for me to get back out in the yard. It gets 96, 97 degrees. I'm not going to be doing work outside. It'll have to be when the sun goes down a little bit. We're talking about drinking Jello, Slim Twiggy. Have you ever heard of drinking Jello? Yeah, I found it. I just put his name in. I put in William Hall drinking Jello, and that the video with him flexing his muscle like this, because his arm is basically the whole picture. And it says, "Don't laugh, it worked." It was streamed 13 days ago. Yeah, I'm already wet with perspiration just doing what I did out there. And I was only out there for about an hour because, like I said, I had already mowed the side of the shed and kind of behind it before I ever turned on the camera and went live. I might bring that little birdhouse in the house and kind of work on that and see if I can get it hung back out. Since I cleaned it out and tried to get it fixed. Jello shots? Yeah, but the Jello shots are usually, what is it, tequila? It's like 95% tequila and 5% Jello. But that's not what he's talking about. He's literally drinking Jello. It's not shots. It's not alcohol. It can be anything with Jello shots. Oh my God, Wilkes County boy, you overdosed on tequila when you were 13 years old? Did they have to put you in the hospital or something to get you over that? Oh my God. I've heard of kids dying of drinking too much alcohol when they're real young. Because when you're real young like that, your system can't handle that alcohol. Good source of, yeah, but you have to drink Jello and not eat, right? Yeah, Wilkes County boy, you're lucky to be alive if you overdosed on alcohol or tequila. Because a lot of young kids have died from drinking too much alcohol. Oh yeah, adults can die from it too. That you had to stay overnight and they pumped your stomach out. You're lucky. They got to you in time. If they'd have waited any longer and your system absorbed all that, it wouldn't have done any good to pump your stomach out. So you were really lucky. And we're lucky too, because see now, we get to enjoy you in our live chats. Not only on my channel, but other people's channel and yours. Oh, you're saying you can eat and drink Jello, but I don't understand how the Jello is going to help you lose weight. What do you do that works that the Jello helps you lose weight? Found me in the ditch, I probably would have died. Yes, you would have died probably. Because if she hadn't have found you when she did and they were able to pump your stomach to get a lot of it out of your system, you would have laid there until all that alcohol absorbed into your body and you probably would have died. Where did you get that much alcohol from? Or tequila? She called 911. Okay, Slim Twiggy, you got me confused. You say the sugar. So you're saying there's no sugar in Jello? So is the gelatin is the weight loss ingredient. Older cousin. Huh. I'm going to have to try that. I'm going to mix, I think I got some Jello here. I'll mix me up some Jello and start drinking it this afternoon and see what happens. Because I definitely need to lose weight. And if Jello helps, I'm going to be drinking Jello. You guess, I don't think mine's sugar-free. I don't know. But like I said, I'll watch his video and see what he's telling people. Gladys, you're back. Well, good. They have a sugar and a sugar-free. It would be like drinking Kool-Aid. Okay. Well, they also have a sugar-free Kool-Aid. So I guess it would have something to do with the gelatin in the Jell-O as well as it being sugar-free. For a long time there, I would not drink anything that had sugar in it. You know, I used artificial sweeteners in my coffee, my tea, my lemonade. I would only drink diet drinks. But I still gained all this weight drinking all that sugar-free stuff. So it didn't help me to be sugar-free. So I don't know if the Jell-O would help or not unless it has something to do with the gelatin. But I'm definitely going to mix up some of it and find out. And I'm going to watch William's video. Yeah, aspartame isn't healthy either. And I kept hearing more and more and more that when you drink artificial sweeteners, it tricks your body into thinking that you're eating sugar. And it does something to your body that actually causes you to gain weight. And I said, I guess that's what happened to me. Because I was using no sugar in anything. I used artificial sweeteners. Kathy Parnell, hello, how are you? Shirley says she doesn't drink anything sugar-free. Oh, wow. It was the next morning when you came to, Wilkes County boy? Oh, wow. I know your parents were scared to death. Yeah, I can imagine so. You probably had so much of that alcohol already in your system that it was probably touch and go there for all night until you did wake up the next day. It could have went either way. I started hearing after I'd been using the sugar-free stuff for years that the sugar-free was not good for your system. It confuses your body, tricks it into thinking you're eating the sugar, so it starts storing fat. It's almost like it triggers something in your body for you to gain weight. Yeah. Well, I hope Wilkes County boy did learn a lesson. Because we want to keep Wilkes County boy's bubbly personality in our live chats. Uncle caught me one time huffing gas. Oh my God, Wilkes County boy. You tried everything, haven't you? He told me when I realized could kill me and didn't realize that it could. Oh my God. That's like these kids sniffing glue and paint and all this stuff. They don't realize they can kill themselves or mess up their brain by doing that. Yep. Sounds like Wilkes County boy is a walking time bomb. He's into just about everything going. Kathy, you said you love my lives. Well, I'm so glad somebody does because I've worried about them. I said, well, I don't know what to say half the time. I don't know what to do on lives half the time. So I just get on lives and do whatever. You say that's probably what's wrong with you today, Wilkes County boy, that you were huffing gas and overdosed on tequila and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Gladys, you missed Wilkes County boy telling us that he overdosed on tequila when he was 13. He ended up in the hospital. He could have died. And then his uncle caught him huffing gas. Could you imagine breathing gas fumes for a high? You'd fry your brain for sure. And we're drinking Jello, Gladys. I tell you, there's no telling what you're going to come into on my lives. From butt floss to tequila, huffing gas, you name it. We got it all right here. Hey, I lie you not. That is the God's honest truth. Well, I hope you don't do anything like that anymore. April says, I'm going to go buy some Jello. I've got some, but I don't think it's sugar-free. I had bought 2 boxes of Jello to make a Jello cake that my granddaughter always loved, but I haven't made it. Because usually on her birthday, I would make her a Jello cake and take it to her. She loved my Jello cakes. And the last time I did that, something went wrong with my cake, and it didn't turn out really good. First time it's ever happened. Yeah, I like the sugar kind, but they were saying I think that William Hall was using the sugar-free Jello. Shirley says it don't matter, drink it anyway. When you smell gas fumes, it makes you want to scratch the paint off the dashboard. Oh my God. Are those Jello poke cakes? I don't know what they call them, but I started making them years ago for my granddaughter's birthdays. And sometimes I would make one at Christmas. Or different times that we'd have, dinners together. I'd make a Jello cake for her. And you use 1 box of plain white cake mix. You cook your cake layers. You need at least 2 cake layers. And 2 boxes of Jello. And I would usually get a red one and a green one. So after I baked the cake and it cooled, that's probably was the poke. I can't talk for Calvin. You take a fork or anything and poke holes around the cake layer. And then you mix your 1 box of Jello with 1 cup of hot water, just enough to dissolve it, and you pour it over that 1 layer. So each layer would be a different flavor. I'd have 1 red layer and 1 green one. And you put it in the refrigerator and leave it overnight. Take it out the next day and get you a big box of Cool Whip, or, what do you call it? Whip topping. And that was your icing. You put that all over your layers and build your layers with it, and icing your whole cake with the Cool Whip. And there's your cake. And everybody loved the Jello cake. Or the poke cake, I guess is what they called it. I loved it too. I haven't made one of those in years, though. Get another cough drop in my mouth so maybe I won't cough my head off. Breathing all that stuff out in the yard, makes me cough when I talk very much. Because I got all that stuff down in my throat and windpipe and everything else. Okay, I done missed something else. Something smells like a new book. You like the way gas smells, but you don't ever want to huff it again? Well, I hope you don't. That's pretty dangerous. Oh, that's what it, Shirley says. I love the smell of a new book. Oh, you make Jello, or let's see. Christine Crowley, hello. Says when my children were poorly, I would make Jello with an extra cup of water to drink. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to cook for one unless you can cook stuff that you don't mind eating for several days, or do like I do, cook it and make your own TV dinners and freeze part of it. So you can take some out later and just heat it up. And that way you don't have to cook that day. You just take your food out of the freezer and heat it up in the microwave. I mean, I've still got a couple of bowls of the tortilla soup in my freezer, because I made that big pot of tortilla soup in my video that day. Well, I froze about half of it. Kathy says, I used to love camping. We never really went camping a whole lot. I've got a bunch of camping gear, but tell you the truth, I've really never even used my big tent. Yeah, I'll cook a big pot of beans and I'll even freeze part of them. Especially if I make a big pot of chili beans. I'll make a big pot of that with a pound of ground beef in it, make chili out of it, and I'll freeze little containers of it so later on down the road I can take out a container whenever I want chili and heat it up, and I've got chili beans to eat for that meal. I just have to make a bread or something to go with it, you know. Sometimes I just eat it by itself. Throw me a few onions and some cheese in there, heat it all up, and eat me a bowl of chili beans topped with green onions and cheese. It's really good. The smell of gas gives you a headache. Yeah, I don't like to smell gas either. I like the smell of coffee too. Gladys says, beautiful Linda, make me a Jello cake. I've never heard of one. Well, I might make a video making one, but I'm going to have to make it when I'm going to take it somewhere. Because I can't eat a whole Jello cake. Yeah, I love the smell of coffee too. I remember in the mornings when I lived at home, you know, growing up, first thing you'd smell early in the morning was Mom making that big pot of coffee. That was the first thing that went on that stove, or anything was made, was my dad a cup of coffee, and you could smell it all over the house. It was dangerous, and I was young, and no one ever told me, so I didn't know any better. Well, Wilkes County boy, you grew up. You know better. You have no excuses now. Crumble your cornbread in tater soup. I'll have to try that. I've never crumbled cornbread up in my potato soup before. In fact, I was going to make a potato soup with ham in it, and I haven't gotten around to doing it. Cheeseburger soup. Well, you know, I make ground beef soup, and it's real good. I just don't put the cheese in it. Uh-oh, Shirley. I would take my sister a plate, but her daughter barred me. Her daughter, my niece, is a wicked heifer. Oh, no. Well, there was a long time there I would not drink coffee, but I started back the last trip to North Carolina, and I've been drinking at least 1 or 2 cups of coffee every morning. I mean, I don't drink it all day long, but I do get up and get me a cup of coffee in the morning. And I don't make it very strong. I don't like real strong coffee. Yeah, if I have the ham, I put ham in my potato soup. If I don't have it, then I just make it without. And I love to put peas in my potato soup too if I have them. Wilkes County boy said that's the way he makes his potato soup is with diced ham. Miss Weaver says, Shirley Nash, my liver is real happy. Add eye cream of chicken soup with your tater soup. Yeah, I know a lot of people do that, but a lot of times if I don't have the cream of chicken soup, I put chicken bouillon in my potato soup, and it gives it that flavor. Yeah, I usually add, I keep chicken bouillon and beef bouillon here all the time. So if I make a soup and I don't have, you know, any chicken stock or anything available or cream of chicken, I just add some of that chicken bouillon, and it gives it that same flavor that the cream of chicken would. No, I haven't seen Bloomin'. I told her that I was going to go live right after Steven's live that he had going. And when I come in the house and checked, he had just finished his live, and that's when I went live. So I assumed she was looking for it, but she never showed up. So I don't know if she's doing something else or what. I'll message her right quick and tell her that people are asking for her in my live, and but she might be busy. She may be taking a nap. Here, I sent it to her. She didn't respond to that message I sent her at 10:52 a.m. this morning. And I just sent that one telling her that people are asking about her in my live. So I don't know when she'll get either one of the messages. She's online or she's active, but she could have left it active and laid down and took a nap or something. I don't know. But I just sent her the message. The poor thing, she'll get in here about the time we end up ending the live, because we've been on here for, it shows 2 hours already. Google Speech can understand you half the time. Well, can't you turn the Google Speech off? I mean, I've somehow got the hand command from my camera turned on. So if I show the palm of my hand, it takes a picture. And if I show a different part of my hand, it'll cut off. And I got to get in there and I guess figure out a way to turn that off because I don't want it on. Oh, you started using Google Speech because it was faster than typing? Yeah, I can understand that. And then too, when you try to type in chats, you always hit sometimes the wrong letter. And it looks like you've typed Chinese in the message. Yeah, it's good when it works right, but when it doesn't, it can get aggravating. It says, Linda, you have 33 on my tablet on. 33 people, I guess. No, that when you type in stuff, I'm telling you, that spell correct and all that stuff that goes on with your chats, it's real easy. You know what you're typing, but then when you hit enter and you see what you just typed in, it's nothing to do with what you just typed half the time. Yeah, it shows that I've got 32 and I got 21 likes so far. But we've been on here for 2 hours and 16 minutes, it looks like. So it's probably time to get off. Sometimes that does happen. It happens to me a lot, Wilkes County boy. Yeah, it happens to all of us, so don't feel bad if it happens to you. Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself. I need to stop a second and check what I just typed in before I hit send, because sometimes it sends god awful knows what. I mean, it'll mix up those letters sometimes to where you can't even read what you just sent. The nurse left. I'm going to live. I just hit my like. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I love talking to y'all, but I got other stuff that I need to be doing in the house. I need to go take a shower. They need Google Speech for us Southern boys. Yeah, they need to be able to translate what you're saying into typing Southern language. Instead of sometimes not knowing what to put down there. I know the way I talk with my Southern accent, there's no telling what Google Speech would end up typing in for me. Gladys typed in live. Okay, I don't know what that means. It said that the nurse left and you're going to go live. I guess you meant coming in on my live. I know. You know, you say y'all do this and y'all do that and we're fixing to do this and fixing to do that and all this other kind of stuff. There's no telling what Google Speech is going to type in for you. She's going to live. She's going to live or going to someone's live. I'm confused. Yeah, it's been fun. I enjoy chatting with everybody on my lives because I get to talk to everyone and answer questions and get in on silly stuff. It says, have a great day, everyone. I'm off to the shower. Thanks for having me, Linda. That's Slim Twiggy. Yep, that's where I'm headed, Slim Twiggy. I'm going to go jump in the shower and get some of this perspiration washed off of me and dust from pushing the mower out there earlier. Oh, Jody. It says, well, I missed the whole thing. Sorry about that. We've been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes already. Maybe you can make the next one if I go live later today, this evening. It'll be 7, 8 o'clock before I go live again. If I do, I may just record it. I don't know. Just depends. I'll be watching, Jody says. Enjoy the short time with y'all, Kathy Parnell. I'll rewatch. Yeah, rewatch it, Jody. But anyway, we've been on here 2 hours and 20 minutes, so yes, go live later, Gladys says. Well, maybe we can get Bloomin' in on the next one. Yeah, y'all have a great rest of your day. I love each and every one of you for taking the time out to get into my chats. We usually have a good time. We get silly, talking crazy, but it's a lot of fun. So please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day. See you on the next one. Bye now.